At the eastern end of Europe, there is one Slavic country that is said to be the oldest country of Europe. Today, it's one of the most biodiverse countries on the continent. With 1/3 of its territory consisting of forest, it has everything from big mountain ranges to natural beaches. Originally, we hadn't considered to spend that much time here, but when I did a bit of research, I couldn't help but feel like we were missing out on something if we just passed through. This is our story of exploring the oldest country in Europe, Bulgaria. Our first destination was a huge natural habitat where you could apparently see natural pyramids as far as your eyes can see. Not knowing what to expect, we took on the pathway to this mysterious landscape where thousands of years of wind and water had formed a natural wonder that reaches over a surface of 50 square kilometers. Did not expect this at all. It is so freaking beautiful, and you have an all around 360 degrees of rock formations. It's pretty sick. I think we're gonna go and have picnic right under that little tree. One thing Bulgarian people love doing is hiking. The country has a lot of national parks and mountain ranges. The most famous one probably is the Seven Rila Lakes hike. It's a hike where when you reach the top, you have this amazing view of the Seven Lakes in the national park. We were pretty keen on doing this hike, and we even drove to the parking lot of the national park in the night, only to wake up in the morning, check the weather cams, and see this. God, please, no! I think it's pretty safe to say that we wouldn't have reached the top. So we had to find something else to do. Another thing Bulgaria is known for is the number of their caves. The country has over 5,000 caves. Luckily, one of the most famous ones was conveniently set on our route. We also went on a very small 2-kilometer hike to a waterfall. During these little excursions, I noticed that I started to like hiking more and more. Even though we hadn't been able to go on the relay hike, my appetite to go on a bigger hike started to grow quite a bit. So I did some research, but since most mountains were still snow-capped in early May, I couldn't find anything that wouldn't have been too dangerous for two relatively inexperienced hikers. Until I found this hike. Central Balkan National Park. It is home of the biggest beech forest in Bulgaria. The highest peak is Botev Peak. Just under there is a waterfall called Raisko Praskalo. It's the highest waterfall on the Balkan peninsula. This would be the destination of our hike. About 9 kilometers long and 900 meters of elevation. So not too easy for casual hikers, but we should be fine. Let's go. Waterfall's there. I don't know if you see that, but it's there somewhere. We haven't even done half of the hike in 2 hours. Remember when I said the hike was 9 kilometers long? Ja, mal gucken, wie weit wir sind.
Wir sind locker 8 Kilometer jetzt.
Well, that's what the description of our hike said. But our hike was what you call an out and back, which means that when you're done with the hike, you have to go the whole way back. Meaning our hike was not actually 9 kilometers long, but 18. Also wir haben noch 6,3 Kilometer.
6,3.
Ja.
Das heißt, wir haben halt 2,7 Kilometer genommen. Wir sind über eine Stunde unterwegs.
Nevertheless, we didn't really feel like giving up, and so we carried on. The hike was very beautiful, but a lot harder than I expected. The terrain wasn't even that hard, but it was just tiring. Sometimes we seemed to be close to the end, only to realize that the hike kept going. However, slowly but surely, we managed to make more and more terrain, and suddenly the forest opened before us, and we saw the waterfall much closer. We passed a hut and endeavored on the last stretch of the path. With the waterfall being in front of our eyes now, it felt much more rewarding to climb up the final stretch.
That's the way we have to go up to get to the closest point.
There is something very rewarding about finishing a hike like this. It just makes the pain of the hours before kind of worth it. If you've seen my last film, you know how much I love Waterfall. It's just incredible to feel the sheer power of these beasts when you stand under them. You see, when water falls down more than 100 meters into the depth, it creates an enormous pressure. It pushes away air so fast that it creates spray and wind gusts that make you feel like you're standing in a rainstorm. Time to go. If you're wondering why Thomas is no longer with me, that's because he kind of gave up about 300 meters before the waterfall. He seemed very tired. So I'm gonna go back and pick him up now. There he is. Und? Wie war dein Mittagsschläfchen?
Ich bin eine Meerjungfrau. Das ist schön.
Du warst einfach auf einmal weg.
Ja. Nee, du warst aber immer so weit vorne, da dachte ich mir so, habe ich Motivation? Nein. Und dann
You wanna get a bit of food? Hier, halt mal.
ja, Strom. Ja, ui. Der gute Samariter nimmt mir das Futter weg, damit er jetzt im Rampenlicht steht. Ja, nee, ich merk schon. Oh, guck mal. Hundeladies lieben ihn. Hundeherren wollen sein wie er. Der gute Mann.
Okay, let's go.
Video oder ist es nicht passiert?
Was?
Ist so doof.
We both slept in because we were very tired yesterday. Both went immediately to bed. I was very tired. Like, I have never done such a challenging hike, and I really underestimated it. I'm actually very surprised that nothing hurts today. Yesterday I could barely lift my backpack. I was absolutely sure that everything was gonna hurt today, but no, I'm completely fine, so that's good. But yeah, now we actually have to get going because we want to drive to our next destination. Sind wir ready? It's easy to assume that it would be hard to top this hike with something else. But there is something else in Bulgaria that we have wanted to visit from the moment we crossed the border. It's something so unique that you can't find it in any other country in the world. Buzludzha Monument was commissioned by the Bulgarian Communist Party and opened in 1981 to celebrate the anniversary of the Bulgarian socialist movement that was founded 90 years before on the same mountain. The monument was actually pretty revolutionary for its time. It had to look imposing while also being able to withstand the harsh weather conditions on the mountaintop. The inside was decorated with 500 square meters of mosaics on the walls and on the dome of the plenary hall in the middle of the building. All the floors were made of marble, while the entire roof was made of copper. After the collapse of communism in 1989, the building fell into the hands of the new government, but due to the controversial origin of the building, they completely abandoned it. All the valuable materials, like the copper and the marble, were stolen, and the building was left to decay. However, there is a silver lining to this story. Today, Buzludzha Monument is under renovation. Since 2018, there is a project to save the monument and make a museum out of it so that one day people might be able to enter the building again. This place feels so eerie, like I mean, look at this. This thing is so huge. I think Bulgaria truly is a place to be discovered by everybody, and I hope that it won't take long until the rest of the world will see it for the beauty that it really is.